KPBS On Demand is supported by the National Conflict Resolution Center. Geopolitics, a divisive election year, and strained budgets are all topics that can create tension in the workplace. NCRC can help workplace leaders navigate polarizing issues with the Culture, Communication, and Conflict Certificate. More at ncrconline.com.
Good morning, I'm Debbie Cruz. It's Friday, December 20th. A Carlsbad man was detained in connection to the school shooting in Wisconsin. More on that next. But first, let's do the headlines. The House of Representatives passed a bill earlier this week to place land into tribal trust for the Hamul Indian Village. Putting land into trust makes a tribe eligible for certain federal programs and services, including some tax credits and land use exemptions. The bill previously passed in the Senate. The Hamul Indian Village currently has 6 acres of trust land, making it one of the smallest reservations in the country. The bill would add roughly 161 acres. The proposed legislation is now heading to President Joe Biden's desk. San Diego planning commissioners voted yesterday to remove a footnote from city code. The footnote allows developers to build more densely in certain neighborhoods like Emerald Hills and Encanto. Members of Encanto's community planning group say the footnote is discriminatory. A city spokesperson says state law prevents them from stopping already planned developments despite this recent decision. Andrea Hateru is a member of the planning group. She opposes those developments.
If it's worthy of repeal, it's worthy of nullifying any decisions that were based on it.
The Planning Commissioner's recommendation now heads to the San Diego City Council for a final decision. Rainy season is rolling in. The city of San Diego is reminding residents to be prepared. They're handing out informational brochures that share guidelines on emergency preparedness, evacuation plans, and other resources. Here are some of their highlighted tips. Be proactive. Report blocked storm drains, potholes, and broken streetlights through the Get It Done app. Sign up for Alert San Diego notifications. Stay in touch with loved ones and prepare your pets. Empty sandbags will be available at recreation centers across the city. From KPBS, you're listening to San Diego News Now. Stay with me for more of the local news you need.
Now on the finest podcast, the NPR Tiny Desk Contest. We bring you the history of the concert series and the competition and hear from artists behind our favorite local entries.
We're just very tired of hearing music that doesn't represent the people or is very nonsense or just dumbing people down. People want to relate to the music that they're listening to. People want to hear people's stories or struggles.
Listen now wherever you get your podcasts.
A 20-year-old Carlsbad man has been detained over an alleged connection to the school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin this week. Authorities continue to investigate the shooting, which left a student and teacher dead. North County reporter Alexander Wynn obtained the San Diego court filing yesterday.
According to the filing, the FBI detained Alexander Paffendorf on Tuesday. He was allegedly plotting a mass shooting with the Wisconsin school shooter Natalie Samantha Rupnow. Paffendorf allegedly admitted to FBI agents that he told Rupnow he would arm himself with explosives and guns, and he would target a government building. The filing did not specify which building he was targeting. On Tuesday night, a judge signed a gun violence emergency protective order against Paffendorf, ordering him to surrender his guns and ammunition within 48 hours. A court hearing has been scheduled for January 3rd. Alexander Nguyen, KPBS News.
A new safe parking site is coming to North County, this time in Oceanside. The North County LGBTQ Resource Center offered the parking area at their new location on Apple Street. The site will accommodate between 25 and 35 vehicles from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Samantha Rogers is with Dreams for Change, the organization that will be running the program.
It's going to look different for every household that comes through our program. The main thing is ensuring, number one, that their initial basic needs are met and making sure that they are what we like to call like housing ready. So they have their documents in order, they have proof of income, whatever that be, and we may work on them to increase income.
Applications for safe parking at the new site open in February. A controversial provision in next year's defense budget will strip coverage for gender-affirming care for military family members under the age of 18. Military reporter Andrew Dyer says the last-minute change has families scrambling.
First of all, let's remember they're kids.
Kathy Molig is the founder and director of Trans Family Support Services, a San Diego-based nonprofit. She says the military families now scrambling for alternative health care options are victims of political games.
Medical decisions should be made by a doctor, parents, and the youth. Politicians don't belong in it.
San Diego Democratic Representative Sarah Jacobs serves on the House Armed Services Committee. She says the anti-trans language wasn't part of the bill the committee negotiated.
Our military families are not calling me about drag shows. They're not calling me about these culture war issues. They're calling me about the housing they need, the child care they need, the health care they need.
Jacobs and fellow Democrat Juan Vargas were the only San Diego representatives to vote against the bill. The Senate easily passed it Wednesday, and President Joe Biden is expected to sign. Andrew Dyer, KPBS News.
San Diego's oldest neighborhood received the city's newest neighborhood sign yesterday in Old Town. The sign says, Historic Old Town San Diego, the birthplace of California. The founder of Bazaar del Mundo, Diane Powers, was also honored with a street renaming. San Diego Avenue will now be known as Honorary Diane Powers Way. After the ceremony, she reflected on her many years as an Old Town business owner and booster.
We started in 1971, and we grew from there. And every year, we're constantly upgrading, doing more things, changing, fine-tuning.
The Old Town Arch is the second neighborhood sign to be placed this year. In October, the Convoy District in Kearny Mesa got its own sign. Sweetwater Union High School District is moving forward with new cuts to the schedule at Chula Vista High. South Bay reporter Corey Suzuki says students, parents, and teachers are worried those changes will hurt the school's renowned arts program.
Aaliyah Madrigal was at a concert. It was August of 2022, and one of her favorite rock bands was playing in the glow of more than a dozen spotlights at a huge theater in the North Park neighborhood of San Diego.
Man, it feels good to be home in San Diego.
But Madrigal wasn't paying attention to the band. She was watching the lighting technician who was sitting in front of them, operating the huge lights overhead that were flaring and changing color. Madrigal could see it, how the lights were affecting the mood and tone of the room.
I knew what he was doing, and I knew, what he was pushing and what it did and stuff. It made it feel really cool that stuff that other people don't, and it makes the show and everything look amazing.
Madrigal was still just a sophomore in high school, but already she had a deep understanding of stage lighting work. Madrigal says that's what you get when you go to SCPA, the School of Creative and Performing Arts at Chula Vista High School. For decades, the SCPA has been a big source of pride at Chula Vista High. It's the only dedicated art school in the district and includes classical and jazz bands, a theater program, visual arts, and a folklorico dance program. It's brought in national and regional awards. Hundreds of students have transferred to Chula Vista High just to take SCPA classes. A lot of this is especially possible because Chula Vista High runs on an 8-period schedule, which fits 2 extra classes into the regular school year. That means instead of taking just a handful of creative electives over 4 years, students get to dive deep into specific subjects. Quinton Rivera is a senior studying drama.
So the students have much more time to work with their instruments, work with the arts, and also still be able to balance out the academic work.
Teachers at Chula Vista High say they get a lot out of the 8-period schedule too, including more time to prepare for their classes. Several other school districts in San Diego County have similar schedules, including Poway and Coronado. This year, though, officials with Sweetwater Union High School District have been considering forcing Chula Vista High to end its 8-period schedule and go back to a more traditional 6 periods per day.
We've been hearing rumors for months that the district wanted to put CVH back on a 6-period day. We don't know where this came from.
In January, Chula Vista High band teacher Debbie Nevin spoke at a school board meeting.
The reasons have varied from money to data, but the Poway and Coronado school districts have figured it out, as well as a large number of San Diego unified schools.
That That month, students organized walkouts, rallied outside the district offices, and spoke at school board meetings. 1,300 people also signed an online petition asking the district to reconsider. But last month, Chula Vista High School principal Jennifer Barker-Hines announced that they were going ahead and ending the 8-period schedule next year. In an email, she said they had made the decision after thoughtful evaluation of school-wide data. District officials still haven't explained in detail how they came to this decision. Like many other school districts, Sweetwater is facing a major budget shortfall this year. But the superintendent declined to comment, and members of the school board and Chula Vista High's principal did not respond to interview requests. In an email, a district spokesperson said the decision was based on the analysis of a working group, which had looked at academic performance data, enrollment trends, and budget impacts. But the spokesperson also didn't respond to further questions.
I feel like we've had no explanation.
Aaliyah Madrigal says many students and parents are still trying to figure out why this is happening. She doesn't feel like they've gotten a straight answer.
I feel like they're making it for their own personal gain. They're not necessarily thinking about the community or the students. They're more like, what's better for us right now?
Madrigal is a senior now. She's learned a lot more and had opportunities to work at the Old Globe and other theaters. When she graduates, she knows what she wants to do. She wants to be a lightboard technician, like the one at that concert in North Park 2 years ago. Madrigal says she feels ready for that because of her time in SCPA. She's sad that they're still having to fight to show why the program is important to so many people.
I don't think a lot of us would have the opportunities or be able to do what we've done if we didn't have this program and if we didn't have the schedule that allowed us to keep all of the classes.
Madrigal hopes district leaders will reconsider their decision. In Chula Vista, Corey Suzuki, KPBS News.
The San Diego Humane Society says it has a huge need for people to foster shelter animals. They say they have more puppies in care this month than ever before. An East County family expanded their pet family to help out. Karen is the mom of the Lizarraga pack.
These animals have no one else. It's not their fault that they're in this situation, and they deserve as much love and companionship. And we can't help all the animals in the shelter, but we can help some.
Her family has fostered more than 70 animals over the last 2 years. Karen's daughter Olivia says it's rewarding to see an animal she's cared for be adopted.
One of the best parts is just being able to be a part of their lives. And when you see the joy of a family when they get that puppy that you've loved and now they love, it's the best feeling in the world.
People interested in fostering animals can fill out an application on the Humane Society's website and take a few online training courses. That's it for the podcast today. The podcast this week was produced by Laura McCaffrey and Elaine Alfaro. It's edited by Brooke Ruth. As always, you can find more San Diego news online at kpps.org. The San Diego News Now team will be off for the holidays next week. Tune into the podcast again on the morning of December 31st. I'm Debbie Cruz. Thanks for listening and have a great weekend.
KPBS On Demand is supported by Latino Legacy Foundation, presenting their Storyteller series, Reach for the Stars with Ellen Ochoa, the first Latina astronaut. Welcome Serenade by the all-female mariachi Amapolas, Sunday, June 29th. More at latinolegacyfoundation.org.